The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. I'm going to stop right there. I want to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. All right, and shalom to the 144,000. So 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 74. It's really going to the elect, man. All right, speaking to the elect. All right, because those are the ones of the nation of Israel who are going to be saved out of the days of trouble, man, that are upon us. When I say days of trouble, I'm talking about Jacob's trouble, man. A time period where the men of the Lord are going to be persecuted for their belief. All right, a time in which, great calamity is going to be happening, in society. Okay. And it's going to be very ugly out here, man. But the Lord says right here, He's going to save us out of the same trouble that He's mentioning. Okay. So without further ado, I want to get into an article, man, showing you that the days of trouble are indeed at hand. All right. So here is a news article that I got from blacklistednews.com, and it says wider war will bring inevitable attempts at martial law in America. All right. Now, if you don't know what martial law is, that's when things get chaotic in society and then the government steps in and takes control, man. All right. I'm talking about like tanks in the streets, soldiers, patrolling neighborhoods and shit like that, man. Curfews, roadblocks. OK. Rights being taken away from the people, man. That's what martial law, entails in a nutshell. So they're talking about this, and we've been warning about this happening because it's in the scriptures as well. All right. But let's go ahead and get into this really quick. It says, not long ago, at the height of fear over the global pandemic, the U.S. underwent a change that many people argue would never happen. All right. For years, I have heard people say that authoritarian controls in America are quote unquote tinfoil hat conspiracy theory and doom mongering. All the prepping, all the talk of community organizing, all the guns and the gear and the training were for nothing. Then the thing happened. Like a freight train. You see what I'm talking about right here. I'm not going to say it. All right. That. Remember that? All right. Yeah. Salakia. So, yeah, they never thought that would happen to Americans, right? But look, when that whole demic popped off, all the rights were taken away. And it goes on to describe it. It says, our constitutional rights were no longer set in stone, but mere guidelines that government officials could bend or break in the name of public health safety, quote unquote. Laws no longer had to be passed through a series of checks and balances. Mandates could be implemented as if they were laws without public oversight and enforced unilaterally. Okay, so there you go, man. It could all change in the blink of an eye, man. And you stupid Americans out here thinking that it would never happen to you. No, it's going down. It's biblical prophecy, man. The days of trouble are at hand, as we just read. All right, and great trouble is coming to America, Babylon the Great. Now, I want to jump down. I'm going to read this whole article because it's kind of, lengthy, but I'm going to read this right here. It says, there was talk primarily among Democrats of severe punishments for people who refuse the pointless. You see it. All right, this right here, which are now being found. I'm not going to get into it, man. But anyway, they wanted, passports. They wanted prison time for those that spoke publicly against the what. I remember that, man. People are talking about those who don't want to take the serpent juice, that they should be put in prison, man. They should be locked up because they're a threat to society. You see? All that happened at the drop of a dime, man. You see? But you don't think it's going to happen on a larger scale here in the near future? Come on, man. That was a test run, man. Esau finna come with it. And the new boogeyman is this whole thing going on with Israel and Palestine, man. All right? They could lock you up for speaking against the Israelis, man. You see the correlation here? All it takes is one event to give them what's the word I'm looking for? Justification and locking you up, man. Let's continue on. It says They wanted you-know-what passports. They wanted prison time for those that spoke publicly against the you-know-what. They wanted people's jobs taken away. They wanted their children taken away. Yep, they said that you're a threat to your children if you don't receive that thing. I remember they were talking about that. All right. And there were even plans to build a you-know-what detention center to segregate and lock up the you-know-what deniers. You see, all in the name of their little made-up story, man. They're threatening to put people in the prison, man, and take their kids away from them, man. Okay. So this shows you they're very capable of doing this, man. Of martial law being a very possibility, man. A very highly possible thing. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna jump down. All right. So all we gotta do is create a boogeyman and enforce these laws, man. And we know who the true target is. Let's get that really quick in the scriptures, man, because you know that they're trying to target us, man. The true prophets. All right, here we have Psalms 64, all right? Psalm of David. Now it says, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. All right, and our enemy is mainly Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right? It says in verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And they have secret counsels, all right, talking about how they're going to try to take down the Hebrew Israelites, man, how they're going to take down the prophets of the Lord who are speaking out against them, man, who are exposing them through the word, man, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai. You see, these prophets that you see on the highways and hedges, all right, the true prophets have been activated by Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, the God of the Bible, all right? And they're speaking out in great boldness and is crumbling this society, man, because the words of the Lord are powerful. So what they're trying to do is come up with a sneaky plan to silence us, man, to criminalize us, to demonize us, man, all right? That's what these secret councils are about. All right, and it just came out. There's a video that just came out recently of an Israeli woman in some kind of a meeting in Atlanta, all right, talking about the main problem for Israel, you know, the state of Israel is young, quote unquote, black Americans here in the United States. And she was referring to the men that you see preaching the word, man. We're their biggest threat, man. Not a violent threat, but, you know, spiritually speaking, we're destroying them spiritually, man. Okay. We're exposing them for the devils that they are, and the world is seeing it. So they want to try to, you know, execute the witness, man. Now it says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. All right. That's their demonization. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. You see? And that's what they plan on doing, man. And they plan on shooting at us with their words, man. Calling us domestic T's. You know what I'm talking about. Terrorists. All right. For what we believe in. You see? And we're not even violent, man. But they have to deem us as being violent. So they can try to lock us up, man. All right. So yeah, this whole thing going on with Israel over there, it does leak over into the prophecy of the persecution of the men of the Lord, man. Because I'm going to go down a little bit. This is really talking about the war, okay? World War III, which is brewing. But that's going to invoke martial law at some point, man, because we see their plans. They're going to have some kind of event take place here, or events take place. It's going to, you know, scare a lot of people, man. Manufactured T attacks. All right, you know what I'm talking about. All right. The writer of this article gives two different options right here. Okay. Two different scenarios, and scenario A says a multi-front war breaks out in the Middle East, including nations like Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Yemen. And these are all these nations that are mentioned, all right, have expressed interest in going to war with Israel. All right. Israel faces serious failure. The U.S. is dragged into the war, and that's going to fulfill that prophecy. The least of the flock shall draw them out. All right, that's going to happen. All right. The U.S. is dragged into the war, or Israel uses its nuclear arsenal to destroy the resources, including populations of enemy nations, leading to the possible involvement of China and Russia, and thus the U.S. is still dragged in. All right, it's going to happen. It's prophecy. They're going to be dragged into this war no matter what, man, so they can be destroyed. All right, riots and terror. Look, check it out. Here's what I'm talking about. Riots and terror attacks become a regular occurrence in the U.S. not just initiated by Muslim extremist infiltrators, but also leftists who have attached themselves to the cause. All right. You see, they're anticipating these T attacks happening in the United States, which is going to lead to what? Martial law. All right. And they're going to point the finger at the Hebrew Israelites. Watch. You get that group out there, Wi-Fi or WFI, Watchmen for Israel, mixing it up with these damn Palestinians, man, being violent and shit, man. Just giving them reason to try to blame us, man. But anyway, it says a draft is initiated, which conservatives support in the hopes that it will dissolve the riots. The draft will sink millions of weak, soft Xennials, or I guess that's Generation Z, if I'm not mistaken, including women, into a bloody quagmire that they have no capacity to adapt to. Yeah, when that draft happens, they're going to be drafting men and women. Y'all going to get sent to that war, man, to that meat grinder over there, man. All right? Draft protests and riots become the norm. Oh, you're going to have protests. There's going to be chaos, man, anarchy in these streets, man. Draft protests and riots become the norm, pushing conservatives to support even stricter enforcement. You see? Finally, martial law is announced, but the soldiers used on American soil to protect us, quote unquote, from riots and terrorists will be primarily foreign nationals. And those are those foreign troops that are coming through the border, right? They're already here, man. They're not going to send their own Americans out there to police the streets. They're going to send them those hardened individuals from these third world countries, man, to put you down. All right? They're going to start letting people open up on the protesters, man. They're going to start using lethal force against protesters, man. Watch. Okay? It's going to cause chaos, man. Then martial law, the military being sent in. All right? That's the age-old tactic that these devils use, man. Order out of chaos, right? Now it says, Salaki, where did I leave off at in this paragraph? It says illegal migrants given an easy shot at citizenry if they join the military and put the boot down on dissenters, which they will gladly do because they have no cultural attachment to America or Americans. At this stage, the Constitution will essentially die. All right, let's get a quick precept. All right, here it is right here, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. This is talking about anarchy, man. They're not going to regard the laws anymore, man. You're going to have people going against the government, man, especially when they instate that draft, man. You're going to have draft protests, all right, and all kind of different protests, man. The uproars of the people, man, which is prophecy as well, showing you that we're in the end times, man, that the days of trouble are at hand, all right? You see? So people are going to go against the government. They're going to go against the local law enforcement. They're going to try to take matters into their own hands. They're going to do what? Send in the military, which is martial law. It's coming, man. You see, this whole war thing going on over there, man, it's all tied in together, man, with prophecy, end time prophecy. They're all tied together, man. All right, so let's check this out. Option B, all right. He says the war expands and Israel faces imminent destruction. Biden commits U.S. naval forces to the fight along with ground troops, primarily special forces. And I think that just happened. I think it's just been recent news that Biden, has ordered special forces group to go over there to Israel, if I'm not mistaken. It says he then calls for full deployment of U.S. ground forces to the region. But in this scenario, the majority of conservatives do not support the action. All right. Satan divided against Satan, man. You got people that support the war that's going on over there and people that are against it, man. That's that division, all right? The kingdom is falling, man. The kingdom of Esau, man, his wicked society is crumbling, all right? It says, the majority of conservatives do not support the action, just as they did not support deployment to Ukraine. Biden tries to implement a draft in order to force the momentum. Conservatives refuse to comply or allow their children to be sent to die in a foreign conflict. A lot of these Edomites that are opposed to this, man, they don't want to send their children to go die in the war, man. They're going to be against it, man. You see? It's going to cause uproars, man. All right? Now it says, on this one issue, conservatives and leftists actually agree, even if it is for completely different reasons. The country is then hit with an endless series of T attacks. You see? each one presented as a reason why the public must back the war. Each attack is cheered by the leftist activists and as an act of quote-unquote decolonization. All right? You see? So, man, it's getting ugly, man. Conservatives see the ploy for what is and still refuse to support the war, taking an America first position, all right? Saying that, we should defend America before we, go over there and fight foreign wars. We got T attacks happening inside the United States. That's what they're going to say, all right? Why fight overseas when it's America that's under duress? Biden still attempts martial law. It's coming because it's prophecy. He offers automatic citizenship to illegal immigrants if they serve in the military and use some of these troops as an occupation presence at home. They're going to do that too. Leftists don't want to fight in the Middle East, but they do like to see migrants given easy citizenship and power. They defend the measure. They figure if the migrants fill the ranks of the military, maybe they won't be drafted. Okay. Conservatives rebel. America enters either balkanization or civil war or both. Patriots are accused of helping the enemies of the United States and are also labeled, you see it, terrorists. They're going to label people as terrorists, man. That's what they're looking to do. From this point on, anything could happen. I believe the Israeli trigger may be bigger than the you-know-what in terms of the potential global disaster and global tyranny that could unfold. And it will unfold. If it continues to escalate and turns into a multi-regional conflict, the chances of the fight coming back to America are high. Not just in terms of, you see it, but also in the terms of civil unrest and war on our doorstep. If we support the war, martial law is a certainty. If we don't support the war, martial law will be attempted, but at least there are scenarios where it could fail. Now, it's going to happen, man. Okay? So, yeah, man, that's the point. You see what's going on, man. They're talking about martial law because it's going to happen. Okay? All right here, it talks about that as well. 2 Kings 15 verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. They're going to put up these roadblocks, man, because people are getting too rowdy. All right? These protests are going to be out of hand, man. They're going to be doing all kind of crazy shit, and they're going to have to send the military in and lock the cities down. Martial law, man. All right? Part of the prophecy. All right, Revelation 2:10. I had to get it really quick. This is the Lord Yahushua speaking, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And he says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, all right, Esau, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So there, the Lord is warning us that, hey, some of us were going to be thrown into prison, man. All right. They're going to look at us as, domestic tease. All right. Read between the lines, man. We got to use code words, man. All right. For preaching his word, man. All right. So just realize that it's part of the prophecy. It's part of this walk, man. The Lord said, fear none of those things that are going to happen, man. All right. The Lord said he's going to save us out of this stuff, man. All right. But the days of trouble are at hand. So, keep the faith. Understand that what's going on is not random. And the Lord warned us of all these things, man. All right. So, yeah, it's happening. I'm going to end it right there. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And Kwame Yasharala in the Bible Bar. Shalom.